So, Harvard's been in the news a lot lately, and I actually worked there for 6 years, and they were really important, formative years for me. And I wanted to share with you a little about my experience because Harvard is a really special place, more than you probably could imagine, and more than I certainly could tell you. But it's because I was an employee at Harvard that I was able to earn a graduate degree and come out from that program without debt, which is an amazing thing. Harvard is so committed to education that they make it very accessible for people in their community to pursue higher learning. And so among their many schools, there's Harvard College for the undergraduates. They also have the law school, the business school, the medical school, Radcliffe College, Harvard School of Divinity, the Kennedy School of Government. They have a huge reach and scope all across the city, and they are a huge employer for the area. And so they take care with the people that are in their community. And among the schools is an extension school where you can take courses part-time. And at the time I was working there, if you were an employee at the university, you could take a course for $40 a class. And these courses are taught by Harvard faculty, and you could earn a degree through the extension school. So that is an amazing gift that they give to their employees, to be able to take courses at such a low cost of excellent caliber taught by Harvard faculty and even earn a degree that way. But in addition to that, if you wanted to take a course or pursue study at another local university or college in the area, they would support a really good amount of tuition for that. So I applied for my master's degree in literature from Brandeis University. And although maybe you could argue that being literate helps in being an assistant, it's not like it was directly pertinent to my job. I wasn't majoring in Excel sheets or something like that. But nonetheless, Harvard paid for 40% of my graduate school tuition. And I got a scholarship from Brandeis for the rest. And so I was able to come out with a degree and no debt, which is an amazing thing in this day and age. And Harvard also, in addition to being supportive financially, also worked with me and my schedule to be able to take the courses during the work week, because Brandeis is not a commuter school. Most of the students there are full-time, and so courses were offered during the day. And Harvard was willing to accommodate that so that I could get my graduate degree, which is amazing. And another remarkable thing is I began my time there working in the Department for African and African American Studies, and then I moved and spent most of my time there working for the Dean of Arts and Humanities, right in the middle of campus, in the middle of Harvard Yard in University Hall, which is famous because the statue in front of it of John Harvard is famous. Everyone comes and likes to touch his foot, I think for good luck, although anyway. So I worked in this very central part of campus, and I got to meet a huge number of people, because in the dean's office you deal with faculty from every discipline, and even in each department there's a huge amount of collaboration and diversity, not only in terms of international scholars coming and teaching and being on faculty and being among the students enrolled, but also in terms of disciplines overlapping. In African American studies, for example, you'd have film and literature and history and sociology professors. They have centers for Middle Eastern studies. They have a Harvard film archive. They have all kinds of gems and places where people are intentionally able to intersect and collaborate and be creative and learn from one another. And it's just a really enriching environment. And one such event was hosted not by my dean, but by faculty that were collaborating within our college. And it hosted Toni Morrison and Yo-Yo Ma coming to campus. And it so happens that my master's degree, my thesis, was about Toni Morrison's novel, Beloved. And I'll talk about that at some other time, because that novel and the themes in it, and the title, of course, Beloved, is very much entwined with how I got the name for my ministry, Beloved. So that was a really important, it wasn't just a thesis I was doing for credit, it really had a lot of personal significance for me. And someone on campus who was helping to put on the event knew that I was getting a graduate degree and writing about Toni Morrison. So she actually asked if I wanted to assist with the event and made sure that I not only helped, but was Toni Morrison's personal assistant for the evening. And it was incredible, not only because I got to be in the room and up front, with that speaking engagement that she had, but also I took a private car ride with her on her way from where she spoke to a place where she was going to mingle, like an after party with students and faculty. And she offered to answer any question I had about the novel, like the most incredible opportunity. And that's one of the things that really could only happen at Harvard, because the caliber of people that come through there. She is a Nobel Prize and Pulitzer Prize winning author. And the generosity of spirit in inviting someone who was just an assistant, but who really knew and loved Toni Morrison's work to come and be alongside to support was that is quintessential Harvard to me. It's a place that is marked by humility, collaboration, generosity. And perhaps it's because everyone there is as brilliant as the other person. There doesn't seem to be a need to flaunt your intelligence. And more so than any other place that I've worked, it really is a very welcoming and humble place. So I treasure Harvard because of the experiences I had there. And when I saw that this recent attack against the university would potentially prohibit them from enrolling international students, I was heartbroken, because the other really precious memory for me of my time there was meeting Yoon, who is a dear friend of mine, a sister, really. And we met because she had come to the Harvard Divinity School as a graduate student. We met on the train platform, actually. I think it was her second day in the country. She stopped to ask me for directions when I was on my way home. And we found out that she had just enrolled, and I was working right in the middle of campus where she'd be taking classes. So we met regularly during her degree program, and I just saw firsthand the incredible courage and resilience it takes to leave your family and everything familiar halfway around the world, literally, and come and study really complex ideas and thoughts and put them into not only words, but words that are not your own language. I mean, it's a huge feat. I have so much respect for Yoon. She's absolutely brilliant. She speaks several languages. She went on, after getting a master's from Harvard, to get a PhD from another prestigious American university, and she's a teacher now. Her students are so lucky to have her, because she is, like many people at Harvard, incredibly smart and incredibly interested in learning, and very sweet and thoughtful and kind. And when I think that the international community would be prevented from coming and being part of Harvard, and Harvard being deprived of the scholars from around the world who are so much of what make Harvard a unique and enriching place of intersection and of learning and of growing in every possible way, not in just what it means to be in your field, but what it means to be a citizen of the world. It's just heartbreaking to think. And I must say, not having met Yoon would have been something that I would have missed my whole life. So I just wanted to share something about what a special place Harvard is, even for just the people on staff. And there's so much involved with the college. It's so much a part of the local culture of the city of Boston. It hosts local events. Most of the things that they put on are open to the public. In fact, I reconnected with a different childhood friend of mine who I'd lost touch with because she was there for just an event that was open to the public. And it's an amazing meeting place and a rich wealth of resources that they are happy to share with the world and with those who really want to learn. So I'm delighted that they are standing up for their right to continue to fund the programs and the people that make Harvard what it is. And I hope they continue the good fight. Thank you for watching. Go Crimson.